All right. Please chime in however however you're inspired. So Jay Baba, friends, this is Sunday, December 29th, last Sunday in 2025. And today we're going to talk about animals. Um,
This
I
is
got
29, 28th.
today, I'm sorry. Thank you. Boy, I'm dyslexic about dates. Thank you. Yeah, I told you the wrong date. 2028, December 28th. Okay, we're going to talk about animals. I'm going to show you this poem which inspired me to have this meeting. Deborah Hertz shared it at RT, and I just it just inspired me. It's Mary Oliver. We love Mary Oliver, right? So here it is. Dear Lord, I have swept and I have washed, but still nothing is as shining as it should be. That's for you, Marion. You know about that. Nothing is good as nothing is as shining as it should be for you. Under the sink, for example, is an uproar of mice. It is the season of their many children. What shall I do? And under the eaves and through the walls, the squirrels have gnawed their ragged entrances. But it is the season when they need shelter. So what shall I do? And the raccoon limps into the kitchen and opens the cupboard while the dog snores. The cat hugs the pillow. What shall I do? Beautiful is the new snow falling in the yard, and the fox who is staring boldly up the path to the door. And still I believe you will come, Lord. You will, when I speak to the fox, the sparrow, the lost dog, the shivering sea goose. Know that really I am speaking to you whenever I say, as I do all morning and afternoon, come in, come in. I love that. I'll show you the cat again here. Mm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's Mary Oliver. Yeah, what a oh, we love Mary Oliver. She's our yeah, RT, one of our favorites at RT. So, and that just got me going. I thought, yeah, that's the dilemma. We're all animal lovers, but you can't, you can't let them ruin your house and, you know, tear and do destruction that's going to be expensive. It's just this dilemma that that we live with. Um, and, and there we go. Uh, so I thought, oh, where are you showing me, kitty? Oh, look, look, look. What's he licking? Is he licking his brother? Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, he is. He's licking his other cat, right? Yeah.
Beautiful.
You're muted, Robert.
No, no, the other cat's
Oh,
not
oh,
here.
oh, oh, that's him.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
seeing. Ah.
Maybe you were thinking it was.
Oh, that's why. Oh.
Hi, hi.
Does
Yeah.
he have a name?
That's a good question. I have Sammy the elephant, but what's his name?
Yeah.
I think his name is Teddy. His name is Teddy.
Hi, Teddy. So today I thought I'd first of all play a little recording of this dog named Tipu. Let me see if I can find him, who sings at Arti at Samadhi. And he's here, if I can find him. So this is just kind of be random animal thoughts and uh, maybe some readings and any kind of sharing that you have of of your animal experiences, and I'll share some. Okay, so this is Tipu. Let me. So that's Samadhi. So Robert,
Whose dog is that,
Who
Betty?
is that?
I think it's one of the Samadhi dogs. Just the his name is
No, I think there's a Frenchman that he's from India and he lives in France, but I think it's his dog would howl. I've heard that before. It's so
really. Well,
wonderful.
you know more than all I know is his name is Tipu. Tom, we should I play it?
People, oh,
I
Hey,
should play it. I should play it again. Yeah, good.
yeah.
Yeah, we should play it again. That's
And anyway, we've all had past as animals. We've all been animals
absolutely.
for sure.
Oh, where can
hmm.
I find him? Uh, oh shoot, I have to go hunt for him now. Um, I'll do it. Uh, well, in the meantime, here, let me see. Let me find him. Sorry, whoopsies. Rob, if you when you get to Samadhi, you'll
Yeah. Yeah.
You're free to howl.
Put in a howl for you. Okay, I'll put in a howl for you.
Okay, so here he is again. I gotta find him now. Oh dear. Now I gotta find it. Turn it off. Oh no. All right. All right. There we go.
That's that's another cult. That's another culture.
Yeah, right. So I was saying, Tom, that I got inspired to do this listening to the Mary Oliver poem about, about mice and varmints that you love them, but you can't. Yeah, it's a dilemma that we all have how to deal with them. Um, so let's see. Uh, well, I have a little story about a frog, and I invite you to share anything that comes to mind. And I have a few readings about various dogs. Uh, So anyway, this it was after LA Sahabas. We were all driving home. The family was driving home, and we stopped in Los Banos, California, at Casa de Fruta. You know that place? It's up right around Gilroy, and they
Mhm.
have they have a little kind of a zoo, a little animal in the back, a little pond and fish pond, and so I just was wandering out there, and I noticed this bullfrog, a big bullfrog, a fat kind. I've told this story before. Maybe you've heard it. Who, was just sitting on a rock, just sitting, and I came a little closer, and I was sure that he would jump off, but no, he just sat there, and he sat there, and I came a little closer, and I started saying Jai Baba. I thought, oh, this is a moment, I said Jai Baba. I said, and then I noticed that his mouth was kind of funny. So I looked a little closer, and what it was he had swallowed a fish that I'm going to say was about that big,
Ah.
tail first, and it had gotten stuck in his mouth. So what
Oh,
I was seeing was the fish's mouth. The fish's mouth was dead. It was dead, but it was open inside the frog's mouth. I thought, oh my goodness, so I came closer and closer, and you're like, Jay Baba, and he let me come. He let me come right on, so I grabbed the edge of the fish's mouth, and I had to shake him really hard to get him out of the fish out. But I
Wow.
did. He finally, he fell off and immediately went away. And that was
Wow.
Baba's story. Oh, yeah. And another little Baba story at Marana, we the kids we had made a garland out of marigolds, nice garland, and we put it up, and we were packing up. My friend Cherry and I were packing stuff up to go to leave, and there was this bee. I'm pretty sure he was a bumblebee, and he just would not leave. He wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave the garland. He just stayed there and stayed there. And we were all ready to go. And, I kind of don't remember. In the end, we might have finally got. He just wouldn't go. He just had to stay right there in that garland for. We that was another. You recognize those moments. I think I would like to think we do. So. Those are two of my animal moments. um,
Is this meeting dedicated to Baba related animal stories?
Not
Or it can
necessarily,
be any
Baba.
animal
I mean,
stories?
I don't.
And
Mary Oliver's poem wasn't necessarily. It was. Well, it was making.
Well, I have a couple, but I wanted to read Robert O's T-shirt first.
Okay. All right. So,
Wonderful.
okay. You can spotlight me. This is my Tony is when he was in prison. He was in prison for assault and battery. This
Oh,
fellow, this fellow here. You see this fellow here?
The
This is
black one?
Fred. Yeah, this is Mr. Fred, and Mr. Fred filed charges against him for
Uh,
for he always Tony's always starting fights, and
Uh,
uh, and
he's
he didn't.
Mr.
trouble.
Fred can take care of himself, looks like.
Fred can take care of himself, but he wanted he sent he had him arrested,
Enough was
and
enough, yeah.
yeah, enough was enough. So anyway, Mr. Tony, here he is. He's got his headshot here, and you know uh, if you
wonderful.
read well,
Kitty bad.
kitty bad, uh,
Beautiful.
and we got him out of we bailed him out of prison, and he's doing better now. He's doing base behaving himself. So which is
Good, good.
which
Well, maybe he's learned his lesson.
a little bit, not always. I have to remind him a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is kind of related. It's a bit of a tangent, but Marion, you knew Don
Okay.
Euchre, yeah?
Oh, yes, I knew Don. Yes.
Yeah. He spent weekends in jail for a while.
Am,
Oh,
Remember,
am,
I
am I
remember
know.
am
that?
I still being
Yes.
spotlighted? Am I still
Oh,
being spotlighted?
no, no, you must have gotten
Who,
your
who is
spotlight.
this, Betty?
I
He's a
never.
New York guy who's now passed away, who we got to be really good friends with. So yeah, I spent some time with them.
I forgot
Don,
about that, him being in
yeah.
prison. I forgot
Remember?
about that.
wow.
Yes, I did.
His
Yes.
Prison or
story?
jail?
Hmm.
It was
It was a,
something where he went weekends.
yeah, he had to go in
And
on weekends.
I
Yeah.
think it was kind of heavy. It was for embezzling. He was part of the Wall Street, I guess where you more you're the what is it?
It was
There's lots there's a gray area there, I think, on Wall Street where he was, I don't think
it's
well, anyway.
Yeah,
But
he and his wife Don and Margaret, they were primary
yeah,
supporters of keeping Meher Baba House going
yeah,
here in New York
yeah.
City, like
Oh.
for a long, long time until um, they both passed away. Yeah.
He told me this story. I don't know if you know it. That Adi, when he was traveling in the 70s, he came to see Don in jail. He came to see
Wow.
the prison. Now, maybe it was prison. I don't know. It was, uh, and he said that Adi had an air about him, don't you think? He was
Yeah.
yeah, and so he said that when somebody else, a big, big black guy, big strong guy came in and said, he said to Don, he said that dude has power. That's what he told him. So,
That dude, what?
has power. He said that man has
Oh,
power.
oh, oh,
He, uh, he
somebody saw that.
recognized
Mm,
that about Audie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
mm.
Wow.
So,
So,
yeah.
so Don Stevens was in prison?
No, no, Don Euchers is
Don
different Don.
Euchre.
Oh,
Old
okay.
New York family.
Mm.
I mean, old Baba lovers. Well, no, not
Yes,
their
yes.
family. No, their kids never were Baba lovers. That was their lament in life. That none of their
Mm.
kids, of their four kids, became. And we used to, yeah, I said, yeah, we used to lament about that.
Well, my none of my animals became Bible lovers either. So we didn't have children,
Oh, I
but I have a few stories. So prison reminds me of one was when I was working in the prison system, they started a dog program on the least, well, not the least, but the second least severe yard, because the prisoners had to be responsible. So, but it was the time of the drought, and they were saving water, so they let the infield dry. And prisons are bleak enough, but without any grass in the middle, it's like so. They got this dog trainer, this local dog trainer, and she was pretty fierce. She was a pretty bold lady, and she wanted things her way. And she said, "Well, the dogs need grass. If we're going to have a dog program, we have to." And they put grass. Total. I don't know how much money they spent on this, but they put they got that sod, and they put sod on this whole infield, and then inside the circle that they walk around, and then the grass grew all this weeds, so they had to send it back, and they got a new. So that was the power of this program, and the prisoners just loved it. They just got so much out of it. It was the first time in a long time, I think, that they had something to really take care of, and only certain ones qualified to take care of these. The dogs didn't live in the cells with them; they lived in kennels that they had outside. But so that was one. Another one was, this is Bob related. When I was in India the last time, no, it wasn't the last time. Wow, man, I don't know. I don't know when it was. It was before 2013. That was the last time I was there. There was a young lady named Clara who lives in Asheville, I guess. I don't know her last name, but we became friends. No, it was 2013 because both Clara and I took care of Bao a little bit when he was really sick. And she was this really intuitive person, who like went with her gut, and she came out of the samadhi, and there was this little puppy that was there at that little thing, just a stray puppy, and it came up to her, and she grabbed it, and she felt it was meant for her, and she felt it. They even looked alike, She held it up and said, "See, don't we look alike?" She was that kind of impulsive person, and so we did all this. We said, "Well, you can't take it back to the United States, That would be really hard." And Dr. Ann said, "No, that's not a good idea." So we contacted Sheila contacted a local vet, and the local vet said, "Sure, yeah, will." He was all for saving any animal. I'll clear this animal." And she called her boyfriend back home, and he said, "This is what you need to do when you get to the airport." But I guess we were a little skeptical because if she got to the airport and they wouldn't let her get on, then that would be really upsetting to her. So she left it there, and we paid a local person to take care of it. And she named it Samadhi. She named it Samadhi. So
So that was it. Was where in Bombay? The doggy was left with somebody.
no, it was left in
Oh,
Mehrabad.
at Maribot. Oh, so she
Yeah,
never.
it was one of the local drivers and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
all
we gave him
right.
money for
Yeah.
dog supplies and stuff. He
Yeah.
wasn't all that happy, but he decided he would do it. We gave him a significant amount. I mean, to us, like it was 1,000. I gave him 1,000 rupees, which is what, $10 in those days. But and they were those.
Oh,
So that, and I have another story that's not Baba related, but we could
that's okay. Yeah,
say
go
that.
ahead.
Go ahead.
It's animal related. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is the greatest animal story. You probably heard it before, Betty. Maybe you have, Marion. But Kitty and I, my wife's name was Kitty. We had a dog named Mystery, and this dog was it was the first dog we'd ever had, and it happened. We got her when we moved up to the foothills, and so he was like a country dog. It was a stray dog, rescue, and it looked like a little German Shepherd, is what it looked like. But it was this intrepid explorer. Is that the right word? Anyway, so it would run away. And we lived in the country, and there were forests and just all canyons. It's gold country. There was all these rocky outcroppings, and she would run away with her friends. She would lead astray local dogs and run away. And so we had this friend who had this other dog that was a friend with my dog named Dixie. And they would stay with our friend when we were out of town. So anyway, we were out of town, and our friend unfortunately let some 10-year-olds walk the dogs. And these dogs, they sensed weakness, and so they ran away, but they still had their leashes attached. So they ran away into this canyon that is really remote. It's hard to get to even. And so, I got this call that the dogs were just gone. And so Kitty was out of town. I don't know where she was. So I got home first, and we started searching. And of course, Mary Baba was on my lips all the time and everything like that. We searched and we searched. I got all my friends to come with us. We went to these remote areas and couldn't find them. And finally, we got a call from somebody who said the dogs are found, and they were living in this little town that was nearby our house, and they were living on the porch of this lady who called them in. What had happened was, Dixie had a long leash and had gotten hung up on some rocks. The leash had gotten caught in these rocks in this remote area, and Mystery went out to the road, which nobody ever goes on, and flagged down a car. She ran in a circle in front of this car,
Oh.
and the people said, "Well, that doesn't look like a stray dog. That looks like a domestic dog." I had a collar on and everything. So they got out of the car, and Mystery led these people down to where Dixie was. And Dixie was growling at them. She didn't want. So Mystery went up to Dixie and said, "No, it's okay, it's okay." So the couple got the dogs in the car, and were driving back on this long road. They were just sightseeing, they were going. And they said, we ought to look at the collar on these dogs to see if there's a number we can call. So they opened the door of their car, and the dogs just jumped out and ran off again. And so then it seemed like they were trying to get to our house, because from where the people, they jumped out from where the people were, was a straight line to our house, and this little town was in between. And Mystery her paws got really sore, and they couldn't get all the way, so they hung out at this porch. So, but yeah, Mystery was just this incredible soul. She eventually got hit by a car on one of her travels, and that was sad. But yeah.
I'm so glad you told that story. It's
Yes,
such a
thank
story.
you.
Oh my,
That was it was actually in the paper. They actually wrote that up in the papers.
do you happen to have
That's,
a picture
that's
of them? Picture?
Of Mystery, I have of Mystery and Dixie, I think so. I'll go try to find it before we
Okay.
go
That would be
away.
really good. That is such a story. What a
Yeah.
hero.
Let's see.
I have a story to read.
Yay. Okay. Go
Can
for
I
it.
go ahead with
Yeah,
that?
please. Yeah.
Okay. It's called Baba and the Bears. And I do a lot of memoir writing, not for publishing, but for my children, grandchildren to inherit from me. So it's called Baba and the Bears. I wrote this back quite a while back. And it's a little bit of a preface because I mentioned something in there very important. It was an organization called the Pathwork, which I've been affiliated with since the 1972. And Baba led me there when I was praying for support because I was becoming a counselor and what kind of support I needed for my transformation process. And when I was guided from my homeopathic doctor to a group where we expressed emotions and all, get feelings out and all, called the pathwork, uh, and I had been praying to meet, and so when I asked about it, it's a series of a whole lot of guided lectures from a guide from the spirit world. And so, and so when I started this exercise program, I asked, how does everybody know each other? And she handed me a pathwork lecture, which is about 10 printed words. And I had an experience of seeing Mayor Baba's discourses superimposed over it. I
Wow.
had a moment. And I knew that was the answer to my Baba's prayer of what I needed. So I've been involved with it for 70s, early 70s. And so I mention it because it's so important in this story. And the people that I know now, I know people who are all reading God Speaks. And there's this artist, he has Mayor Baba on his business card. One of his paintings, he paints Mayor Baba and all kinds of spiritual teachers, and they are not Baba followers.
Oh,
So I've been having the experience of, his wife reads God Speaks over and over and over again. And so, and I've had the experience at church I belong to, All Souls Unitarian Church years ago, on their book table, what shows up but God Speaks. And the woman there who sells them, knew I was a Baba follower. She says, "Isn't this yours?" And we don't know where it came from. We don't know how it got on that table. So I've been having all these experiences of Mayor Baba showing up, as he said, he will belong to the whole world. So it's in that spirit, because I mentioned the pathwork in here and how important it is. So that's where I did all my training to be a pathwork helper. So it's a little bit long, but I'll read it articulately and fast.
that's okay. You don't
So
have to read fast.
so two bears, small wild bears, ran onto the patio and right into my arms. I was in an office waiting room with other people. There were two open French doors leading out onto the patio. It was a nice warm summer day. I knew the bears were mine. I loved them. They were frisky and happy. Then I panicked, not knowing how to care for them in my apartment. I worked and could not have them and leave them alone. Wild bears would not thrive and survive in a New York City apartment. What should I do? At that moment, I woke up, not fully awake, but enough to know I was having a dream that was turning into a nightmare. I knew it was a dream, but in this lucid state, the dream was also a reality I had to resolve. My bedroom was a mirage, and yet the dream was fading, and I was in between. I decided to re enter the dream to resolve this terrible dilemma. As I drifted back into the dream, Meher Baba appeared in front of me. It was his upper torso from his waist up. He put out his arms, and at that moment, both bear cubs appeared in my lap, and I handed them to Baba with great relief. I felt his love and knew all was well and went back to sleep. When I awoke, I recalled the experience with deep gratitude, knowing I had surrendered to Meher Baba, my spiritual master, all that weighed heavily on me. The weekend after this experience, I was at the Phoenicia Pathwork Center. That was Phoenicia, New York, up in the Catskills, for my bi-monthly helpership teaching. I worked with another teacher, Margaret. We were training about 15 students to be spiritual helpers. This would be the last weekend of the series just before the summer break. At the end of the lesson, a student spoke up and announced the class wanted to express their thanks to Margaret and me by giving us gifts. Margaret always had an armload of books and notepads in her arms as she walked around the center. She unwrapped a gift. It was a beautifully woven tote bag to carry her supplies. One of the students placed a brown paper shopping bag in front of me. Colorful tissue paper stuck out over the top, hiding a gift nestled in the bag. I reached down and peered inside. I saw something brown and soft. I grabbed it and pulled it out with the tissue paper. I looked with shock. It was a brown bear. Not a teddy bear, but a stuffed wild bear. A bear just like the two bears in my dream. It had a place in its back to insert my hand, and I could move the head and arms like an alive bear. In a split second, I knew intuitively that God was giving back to me a symbol of the burden I surrendered to Him. My faith deepened that there is a goodness within that takes care of me as I let go of trying so hard to manage burdens. I burst into tears. The students looked puzzled as those strong emotions poured out of me at the sight of the stuffed bear. As I quieted down from sobbing, I told them my dream. There was a hush in the room and a few gasps. Everyone realized that this was a sacred moment. I took a deep breath, looked around the room at each student, experiencing the deep love and gratitude we had for each other and the teachings. They named the bear Golden Drop, a symbol used for the reality that we are all one, golden drops in God's ocean of love. I call him Wild Bear. One of the students told the story of how the bear was chosen as a gift for me. 3 of them were assigned to pick and out teacher gifts in the shop we had at the at our dining hall gift store. They found the perfect tote bag for Margaret. Then one of them, Margaret Mary, spoke up, pointing at the stuffed bear. That is for Marion. The other 2 shoppers balked, thinking that I would not like to be given a stuffed bear when Margaret got the useful bag. Margaret Mary insisted, no, the bear is for Marion. Because Margaret Mary was so highly regarded, they gave in. Now they, along with all the other students, realized that in her wisdom, her high intuition, she chose exactly the right gift for me. And I'm going to introduce, here's Wild Bear.
Oh, wow, he's a beauty.
This is him.
It's a big
Oh.
one.
He's a big one. Wild Bear sat on the day
Huge.
bed in my session room, my therapy session room, for many years. If one of my therapy clients needed to cuddle him for comfort, he provided that loving presence. Now he sits on my bed and sleeps with me at night. I learned from bioenergetic studies many years ago that when children or even adults love an object, such as a toy or a blanket, they wrap their energy body around it. That imbues the object with a love that is felt by the person when looking at or holding the toy or blanket. In reality, Wild Bear emanates love for me as much as I love him. So
Oh.
he's saying, so I put my hand in there. He's saying, hi, hi, hi,
Had
everybody.
had they known anything about your class, about your bear dream, or
Who
did
did
they
who?
had any previous knowledge of you and bears? The people in your class. Did
No,
they
no,
know?
no, no,
No, they
nothing,
didn't know
nothing.
at all.
And the whole
Oh.
class didn't know. It was only those 3 people who had the assignment to get
Wow.
to get me to get presents for us
Wow.
teachers on the last day, and that she stood out, and it was such a different gift than the woman who got the tote bag, the practical
Wow.
tote bag.
Yeah.
And so they balked. I wasn't going to want a bear, why this stuffed
Right.
bear, and they didn't know. But
Oh.
this dream I had, and when I told the dream, to everyone in the class, I told them the dream. Everyone was sobbing and crying
Oh
at
my
the
goodness.
yes,
Oh,
and
wow.
that because they trusted Margaret Mary. She was a very high intuitive person. Yeah, very
Uh-huh.
spiritual, very high intuitive. So I've had my wild bear with me all
Very
these
much
years.
saying, yeah.
Does he have a
But
name?
what?
What does he have a name?
Well, they named him Golden Drop, and I
Okay,
called
Golden
him
Golden
drop.
Drop.
Wild Bear.
That's
Wild
right.
because the
That's
dream that
right.
I had where I handed the 2 bears to Baba, the
Mm.
dream was I was in that waiting room, like an office waiting room, and those 2 little baby bears running around were mine. And I just knew in the dream they were mine. And what was I going to do in a New York City apartment with 2 wild bears? That's when I was panicked, just panicked. And that's when I went back into the dream, and Baba appears before me, head up right in front of me, puts out his arms, and I
Oh,
hand him and the bears are now in my lap, and I hand Baba the 2 bears.
wow.
And I was in that lucid dreaming state. And
Yeah.
I go back to sleep. And then when I woke up, I remembered everything.
Oh, that's
And then
quite a dream.
oh, I zoomed off. And then and then all this, that next weekend, I'm up at the Pathwork Center, and what do I get? An exact replica of those 2 wild bears that I gave to Baba.
That's something.
That's a
Yeah,
great
That's my,
story.
yeah,
great
my Baba and the
story.
bear.
Betty, my I know for what just that through coincidence, I know Betty has a bear in her life,
Betty?
and I don't
Minnie?
know.
A
Yeah,
bear?
yeah. Her husband's brother. Is it brother?
Oh, Robert. His name is
Robert. Robert. His man, his name is Robert. Or is it ROW or
Yeah, he
ROE?
spells it that way. It's Robert, but he likes Robert.
Robert. Oh, Robert.
Robert, yeah.
Robert. That's the French
That's
pronunciation.
right.
Little dance, yeah.
And he
It should be
spells it
Robert.
all
Robert
like that
O.
too.
We'll call him Robert.
And and he's big
No, he
into
doesn't
teddy
seem like
bears. Yeah, he's a big teddy bear collector. But yeah,
Yeah,
Is he?
and the fact
yeah.
when they were in the gift shop, we had a gift shop on our center grounds up in the Catskills, and we had a big 300-acre land retreat center, and
Wow.
yeah, and so we had a gift shop there because sometimes other people would come up besides we members, and so that you know that they this woman Margaret Mary who is so that she pointed out that bear for me, they were shocked. They thought I would be upset. I got
Right.
this bear, when that beautiful cloth tote bag was given to the other teacher we taught together, and
so. You
and she
started crying when you saw it?
no, when I told the story, because when I pulled him out of the
Oh,
bag, everybody in the class, they were sitting on the floor cross-legged, and we were sitting on two chairs, we two teachers. And so when I pulled out the gift out of the tissue paper out of that shopping bag, they were shocked that I would, thinking I would be upset getting this stuffed animal. And then I started weeping because to me it was Baba giving back to me what I had surrendered to Baba. It's like what you give away comes back a thousandfold when you really give it away. And I knew that. And when I saw that, I started crying. And they were puzzled. Why is she crying over this bear? How ridiculous. And so I'm weeping, and they don't know why I'm weeping over a stuffed bear coming out of a shopping bag. And so then I tell them the story about my dream and the two bears, and they all knew I was a follower of Mayor Baba. And so when I tell them the story, they started weeping because of the significance of that, handing those two bears over to God in human form, to the Christ, and then getting this back. Not a teddy bear, but a wild bear, like those two wild bears. So everybody then was weeping after I wept getting the bear and
That must have been a
realizing
moment.
it was
Wow.
yeah, what a
Yeah.
moment because
Yeah.
that I received back what I gave away
Mhm.
and surrendered to Baba in that lucid dreaming and Baba appearing before me and me handing those bears to him and feeling such relief of that burden and then getting the same kind of bear back. Yes, I wept and they didn't know I was weeping. They thought it was all weird, all weird. The bear and me crying and what's going on. And then till I told the story. Yeah. So that's
Nice.
it. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Marion. That was great.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, Marion,
Yes, I thought
uh,
of that when we were
uh,
when
uh,
you brought it. Yes, yes. Hi.
do you want to adopt me? I could be adopted too.
uh,
does your bear have a name, Robert?
His name is Teddy. Teddy, Teddy, Teddy.
Mm.
uh, Hi,
Uh,
We
Joni.
hug. We hug.
I
We
want I
hug.
want to welcome Joni. She's
Hey,
yeah.
Joni.
And who is this? Who's with you?
Is Chloe.
Chloe. Ah, she's pretty.
Oh, I had a dog named Cleo
Ah.
many years
I,
Her
ago.
and I
original name, but
oh
my husband kept calling her Chloe, kept forgetting. So she ended up becoming Chloe.
and when I was a teenager, I had a cat Chloe, and when she had kittens, I named her kitten Cleo. So I had a Chloe and a
Ah.
Cleo.
How funny.
I had an aunt that had a dog that they didn't want, so they called the dog "Don't Want You." That was the name. That was the name of the dog. And then
Oh,
after they fell in love with the wall, they shortened it to "Want You." So Yeah,
They
so the
wanted him
switch
after
says,
all.
That's cute.
no, they changed their mind. That
I
was
would
good.
think
That
that
was
would have
nice.
psychological,
Yeah.
consequences.
And
Um,
that one is called what, Joni?
Ma-
Maisie?
Maisie. This is Maisie.
oh, is that you?
Mm. Oh, Maisie. Hello, Maisie.
I don't know about having two big dogs like that. That's
Well, yeah, they're nice dogs as long
you
as
got
people
any
are
interesting
Boxers
stories about your dog?
really, boxers are very personable. They're
That's
very
right.
sensitive and protective also.
Yeah, Ralph has two big hounds. Yeah,
Ah.
Joe and Betty. Yeah.
Today at the same time. So it was a good experiment. It worked.
Good.
So, folks, we're kind of opening it up to any, animal related stories, or it doesn't have to be Baba related, just
Uh,
I have a short poem I wrote many years ago about my
awesome.
cat,
Yeah.
and it's a short poem. Um, I think I don't need to have it in front of me. It's cat, get off the cord. When are you going to change? Ah, never, I bet. Oh well, I love you anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Sums it up pretty well there.
I was sort of doing a little research, and I had heard about Baba's dog Warrior, um,
Oh,
that he's considered a spirit dog. I mean, Baba brought him. If you'd like, I'll read you just a little bit about what he
A
was a
spirit
puppy.
dog.
Yeah,
That's
Baba
a good
used,
read. Yeah, it's a very good read. Just read
yeah,
it, Betty. Yeah.
I will. He wasn't even, he was born in April and he died in September of the same year. He was a puppy, a German, big puppy, German Shepherd puppy. But okay. So here's from Lord Mayhare. Um, let's see. Let's see. Saints of the fifth and sixth planes have insight and they use it. But the dog cannot use it. The dog only sees things that ordinary human beings cannot. The dog's company purifies thoughts and atmosphere. That is why Zoroastrians have the custom of bringing a dog to see the corpse when someone is dead. Before disposal of the body, the dog purifies the sanskaras.
Darn.
Yeah, well, here's more. Dogs play an important part when used consciously by the master. In my seclusion of about 10 days, I wanted a dog for some work of my own. I won't tell you what. What? Exclamation point. I won't tell you what. I, I could not use Chum or any of the other pets. The dog I wanted had to be fresh, new, innocent, and young. So before seclusion, it all came about that Courgette happened to mention an Alsatian puppy, and eventually we got Warrior. I said, "He is my dog." I did not say so about Jingo and Bingo or the other pets. Warrior, you all understand, was Baba's dog. Warrior was not actually a dog, but was temporarily brought down from the spirit world to do this work. I needed a dog for that kind of work. I won't go too deeply into the matter. So Warrior came, and I kept on telling Elizabeth that he was to be near me, but I also knew that it would be difficult as things would crop up. They would create obstacles. So for the first few days, Warrior suffered from worms, germs, etc. Eventually, I had him for the time I wanted him. I knew he would die, just as I knew that before July 1st, 1941, Chum too will die. So after I worked with him, I fed him with my own hands and gave him water to drink. When my work was over, I sent him back. Um, so soon after he got ill, and
Wow.
I discussed with Soltun's sister, meaning Baidul, since no man's name would be mentioned, so he had to say Soltun's sister, meaning Baidul,
Around Mara.
around Mera, right. Where to bury him when he died. We finally selected the spot. when Warrior got very ill, and I saw that if he died within 3 days, he would again have to take another birth, which would not have been safe for him. I saw to it that he did not pass away. So when in those 3 days he did not die, I was happy. So that's Warrior. I mean, Baba sent him for at least a week to live with the musts. Yeah, who knows?
Uh,
Is he buried? Where is he buried? Is he buried
It
up
does
on the
say.
yeah,
hill?
Let me see where. I believe so. Let's.
I think there's a marker up there somewhere for a warrior.
Let's see. It did next to. He did say next to. Uh, into a spot near Nani's grave, Norina's mother. Near, yeah. So, yeah, that's where they're. Yeah, that's probably where the other animals are. So that's that story. And then there's another cool story about, it was the one that Gabby told at Artie last night about Mastan's mother,
Oh, right,
Booty.
Booty.
That
Right.
that
Yeah,
was an amazing story.
That was an amazing story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could read that again, Betty, if you
I
have it.
will. I will. I do have it. Yeah. This is, first of all, I'll show you a picture. This is Booty. This is Mastan's mother, and she looks a lot like him. So that's her, Booty.
Oh,
Um,
she's big. Yeah.
a Tibetan Mastiff was the word they used.
She would be scary.
She was scary. She was fierce with anybody but Baba and I think the women, but she would go after anybody.
Well, read the story,
I'm
Betty.
getting there. I'm getting there. Oh, let me see.
Ralph, you probably have some great animal stories.
Oh, let's
But
see.
yeah, let's hear this one first. Oh, it's almost. Is this going to go for an hour, or how long is this?
Yeah, let's close it after. Yeah. Uh, unless somebody has, I mean, it can go as long as, my thought was about an hour. Let me think now. Where is she?
I
Oh,
can
Lord.
always do my children's book if you want.
Oh, that's true too. Okay. Um, or I was thinking we're gonna have stories next week. We have
Stories. What do you mean, stories?
story time. Not animal stories, just story books. Rosalie is yeah. I'm sorry, I'm off topic now. Let me think. How can I have it?
Did you lose it?
Not yet.
I,
I had found it. Let me think. Where the heck?
what year was that? Was it that event?
Well, you
It's
don't have to read it. You could just. Do you remember the story? You could just tell the
this
story.
this little
Oh, it needs to be read. It's really
it
well
does. It's
written.
literally a cliffhanger.
More than I ever heard about her before.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a puppy. Well, I better not say you did. The story is
Yeah.
that
Let me see.
as it's written.
Okay. Let
Yeah.
me
It is a great story.
It's a
You're
great
right.
story. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it will take a minute. Um, let's see. Uh,
Can you search
I
fi-
am. I'm searching. I had found it. I don't know why it disappeared. It's in Merwan's book, My Life with Meher Baba. Then, okay, I'm there. So page 173. I was on the edge of my seat listening to that story. Um, uh, let's see, return. Okay, almost there. Uh, all right. Around that time, Baba went to the Himalayan region in search of musts. Um, during his stay, he wanted to find a good watchdog for Marizad, and with difficulty, a tiny female puppy, I'm just showing it to you now, was found. And Baba named her Booty. She was a Tibetan Mastiff, the type of dogs used by shepherds on the higher slopes. Whoops. And dogs of that breed are large, fierce watchdogs with lots of hair. Erich carried the puppy, who was at that time just a ball of fur, snuggled in his armpit, following Baba on a very precipitous mountain path with a sheer drop on one side. Somehow, Erich stumbled at one place and almost fell. In the process, the little puppy slipped from his grasp and rolled over the edge of the slope and out of sight. It was several thousand feet to the bottom. Everyone tried to see if they could locate the puppy, but they had no luck. Baba signed Erich not to worry, however, and sure enough, in a few minutes later, the puppy came scrambling back up right in front of their path. Erich was utterly amazed at that puppy's natural ability to handle the dire situation. He picked her up and carried her once again, and they brought her all the way to Marazad. Booty, or Gulu as she was also called, grew into a huge dog. Over the years there were plenty of occasions where there'd be nobody at Marazad except for Kakabaria, who would be left there with Booty as his only companion. Baba had appointed Kaka as the manager of Marazad, and he stayed on even when everyone would go away, to Guru Prasad for summer break, for example. There were no dwellings for miles around, so Kaka was all alone, but he said that he was never afraid of anything, because at night Booty was let loose. Woe betide anyone who entered the premises, because she was ferocious and would attack. The local villagers were very frightened of her. Once, when I came to Mirzad for a long stay, Baba told me that I must befriend Booty. The best way he's just suggested would be to take her out for a walk. This is now we're talking about Marwan Jesawala, who's written this book. At that time, she could only be approached by Kaka, Mara, and Baba. Fierce barking and snarling greeted any others who came near. All animals, by the way, even ferocious ones, showed an instant recognition of Baba, giving those of us around him evidence of his divinity in action. So it was that I would take Booty and her son Tipu on walks every day while I stayed at Marazad on that visit. One day I took them to the main road, and Booty tried to attack a woman who was walking past rather close to us. Had I not held Booty very tightly, it's just a couple more paragraphs here. Had I not held Booty very tightly, a woman could have been killed, because Booty would have gone straight for the throat. She was a very fierce dog, an absolute terror in the neighborhood. At night, Booty would go round the whole property barking. No human watchman could have done the duty so well. Soon after Baba's second automobile accident, she had a litter of puppies, of which one would become Baba's dog, Mastan, who was his favorite dog. She had given birth to 3 or 4 puppies, and Baba had selected Mastan, who resembled Booty, to keep as his pet.
Well,
It
where
turned
did
out to,
Tipu come from? That she said he mentioned
I
Tipu.
know, I guess that was just another dog in the litter.
She had a previous litter, 2 litters.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
That's
maybe
right.
We don't know who Mastan's father was, though. Huh?
It's true. We don't. No. But
Okay.
so anyway, he was the best of the lot, the best of all Booty's pups. That the way he would obey all the commands that were given him was something to see. Baba loved that dog very much. So I'll end it there. So that's that story. So okay. That's kind of what. Oh, hi, Marjorie. Oh. That's kind of. I've got more, but I think. What do you say, Robert? Do you want? You could read that story now. It's not. How much longer do you think it would take?
Oh, maybe 10 minutes. It's
Yeah.
about 10 minutes. If it's too long, it's okay. I can do it next week, maybe.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I have some pictures I can show if you want to make me. I have some pictures I just put together. If you want me to show, these are some. Just give me permission.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay. I think that it'll show up. Okay, let's see now. Oh, I
Oh,
still can't do it. You can
sorry.
request sharing.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Oh, I've sent request. I sent request.
I got it. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You could just read it. Or, Oh.
Oh,
No,
wow.
no, no. It's just some pictures I just pulled. I just pulled to get put together on my phone, and
Oh,
it's some great shots.
oh, beautiful.
Here's
Uh-huh.
this is at a museum. I took a picture of this out actually outside along Sixth Avenue near 42nd Street, and here's an interesting sculpture of a
Uh-huh.
horse.
Did you take the picture, the little child and the dog,
I
Robert?
didn't know. I did not take that picture. I got that off of. Oh, more pictures are showing up now.
Now that's your
Um,
your cat, right?
that's actually Mr. Fred when he was a kitten.
Oh,
And
what?
here's another picture of him when he was a kitten. Now he's 8 years old.
Oh,
But this is one of my favorite shots.
oh,
That's
the
him with the
kitten.
criminal.
Yeah, it's him with the criminal. Yep, yep. On a good day. It was on a good day.
Oh,
Now this
oh,
is
here's the
Oh,
other one.
That's
now this
cute
is
how they sit
yeah,
in
yeah. Now, this
boxes.
is a very small box. Yeah,
They like that.
oh yeah, I know they love that. Oh, here's another cute. Here's another adorable one. Now these are some pictures I got off of that. This picture and the other picture of the dog and the animal. I mean, and the child were from Facebook. I just when I see something I really like, I
I
just
know.
go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a cute one.
Mm.
That's Mr. Tony. Now he's curled up in a ball. Now they're getting a little bit closer and a little bit good day. And here's Tony in a box. He loves those boxes. And there's another box picture.
Mm.
Here's
Yeah.
cute.
All right. So, all
Okay.
right. So I guess what I'll do, I can, hold
Well,
on.
it's possible that some folks here might not come next week. If it's fairly short, you could read your
What, the
book.
children's book? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
here, this is it. This is my children's book. It's called Sammy the Flying Purple Baby Elephant, Remembering the Old Ways of the Elephant. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of purple elephants that can fly. So here we go. Here's the opening page with Sammy, the dedications and all that. We don't even know that. Okay, so here we are. Let me see if I can get this in the picture correctly. Here, Sammy the flying purple baby elephant is happy. Happy when he goes flying high in the sky with his birdie friends. He is so happy he even thinks he's a bird and forgets he's a baby elephant that weighs over half a ton. He just lets his big ears flap and away he flies. But Sammy also gets sad. And let's see, what does Sammy get sad about? One of the things that Sammy gets sad about is when his mommy and daddy are on their smartphones all day long. Sammy knows they love him very much, but why have they forgotten the ways of the elephant? Now, Sammy knows smartphones have lots and lots of good things about them, like talking with his friends, getting the latest on elephants in the news, but most importantly, he knows he has to respond to his mommy and daddy whenever one of them calls him or sends him a text message. Be home soon. Good, Sammy. Okay. Yet, now let's see now. Yet, Sammy still wonders why, oh, why do they have to be on their smartphones all day long? He keeps asking himself, whatever happened to the old ways of the elephant? The days when they used to go for long walks together with and without their smartphones, or when they used to go for play in the water together with their smartphones. But now, smartphones have become the way of the elephant. Sammy goes flying high in the sky one day, and he keeps looking. He can't find a way to get mommy and daddy off their smartphones. So after flying that day, Sammy asks his birdie friend, "Oh, let me get this a little better. Uh, how can I get my mommy and daddy off their smartphones all day long and back to living the old ways of the elephant?" His birdie friend says, "I don't know. I'm a bird, but maybe you can ask your dearly departed grandfather to come to you in your sleep for the answer." Sammy says, "Oh, that's a wonderful idea. I will do that tonight. Thank you so very much." Meanwhile, Sammy's mommy and daddy are busy on their smartphones. Mommy sends daddy a text message. "I'm so worried about Sammy. He doesn't seem to use his smartphone all day like we do, and he's been talking to his imaginary birdie friends again." Daddy texts back, "Oh, don't you worry. When Sammy learns of all the wonderful things he can do with his smartphone, he will use it all day like we do. And stop talking to those imaginary birdie friends." That night, Sammy lies down on his bed and he asks his grandfather to come to him in his dreams, and quickly he falls fast asleep. Then, when Sammy begins to dream, he sees his grandfather and says, "Hello there, grandfather. I love you and I miss you. I have come to talk to you about something very, very important." Grandfather says, "Hello, Sammy. I love and miss you too. But before we talk, let's play." So, what happens next? Suddenly, Grandfather fills his trunk with water and sprays Sammy really good. The water feels so good on Sammy's face. "Oh, what fun. Let me try it," Sammy says. Sammy fills his trunk with water and sprays away. He yells out, "Oh, this is so much fun to play with my grandfather." After playing in the water for a while, Sammy asks, "Grandfather, can you tell me how I can get my mommy and daddy off their smartphones and back to living the old ways of the elephant like we just did?" Grandfather says, "Oh, my dear grandson Sammy, you can tell them how much fun we just had and how silly it is to spend all their time on their smartphones when they can enjoy being together as elephants used to. And when they can take part in elephant playtime again, they will remember the old ways of the elephant." Gratefully, Sammy responds and says, "Oh, thank you so much, grandfather. You are so very wise. I think I can do that now with your loving guidance." Suddenly, Sammy wakes from the dream, and he realizes with great joy that his grandfather has spoken to him about getting his mom and daddy off their smartphones and back to living the old ways of the elephant. Excitedly, Sammy comes stomping out into the living room and yells out, "Mommy, Daddy, I just had the most wonderful dream. I was playing with grandfather in the pond, and we had sprayed each other and with lots and lots of water. We had such a good time, too. This is so much fun. This is the way of the elephant, Mommy and Daddy. This is the way of the elephant." Oh, Daddy says, "Oh, Sammy, smartphones are the way of the elephant now. We don't watch video. We can watch videos. You can watch videos playing on the water with your smartphone." Sammy says, "But Dad, that would be silly when I could do it right now with you and Mommy." Mommy says, "Oh, not now, Sammy. I'm too busy updating my elephant page." But Mommy, please, 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 it's going to be so much fun. Can't we go down to the pond and play right now?" Mommy says, "Sammy sounds so excited and happy. Maybe we should give him what he wants." Daddy says, "Very well. Sammy, go down to the pond. We'll be there soon." It's almost over. Okay. Well, Sammy goes down to the pond and is waiting and waiting and waiting. And suddenly one of his birdie friends shows up and says, "Hi, Sammy, what are you doing here by yourself?" Sammy says, "Oh, hello, birdie friend. I am Sammy, waiting here for my mommy and daddy to come play with me." Birdie friend says, "Oh, I can play with you." So they start playing, and mommy and daddy finally show up at the pond, and they see Sammy playing all by himself, yet having so much fun. Suddenly, Sammy takes some water in his trunk and sprays his mommy and daddy really good. Oh, sorry. Okay. Then mommy and daddy spray him right back. "Oh, what joy," Sammy shuts out. Well, mommy and daddy are having such a good time, they forget all about their smartphones. Sammy's birdie friends fly down and turn into the colors of the rainbow and celebrate with him. After playing in the water for a while, uh, they go for a slow walk in the lush green grasses. Sammy says, Daddy says, "Thank you, Sammy. You are so right. It is much more fun playing in the water together than watching it on a smartphone." Then Mommy says, "Yes, Sammy. Thank you so very much for helping me to see it's more important to spend real time together as a family than updating my elephant page. I love you, and I'm proud to call you my son." Sammy's mommy and daddy are thankful to him for helping him remember the old ways of the elephant. Yet he knows he has his birdie friends and his grandfather to thank as well. Sammy will be flying again soon, looking for other problems to solve with the help of his birdie friends. End of story.
I love that phrase, the old way of the old ways of the elephants. I think that's just
Oh, I'm so glad you like that. I thought maybe I was saying it too many times. It was
no,
too,
it's
too,
nice. It's yeah.
well, that's really the message. It's really about getting back to the way we used to be
Mhm.
when we connected and we weren't everyone wasn't on their smartphones all day long. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Hmm.
I live in New York. Wherever I go, everyone they're walking, they're on their phones. It's this worldwide epidemic. And I'm really so excited now that I'm finally reaching out to schools, and I don't know if I told you guys the other, but I have another school in my neighborhood that is talking now about buying 120 of the books
Oh
and
wow.
Oh,
possibly
wow.
doing
Oh.
six presentations with the kindergarten level, the first and second grade level, and
Hmm.
so. But I've got other couples, but I'm really promoting it right now because I think it's so. Oh, my cats just had a fight.
Well, I
Uh,
just want to make a comment because
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
sure.
that book is so important in what you're doing
Yeah.
because I spread the word. I'm involved very much in intergenerational
Mhm.
activities in my senior center, and
Yeah,
that the smartphone and everybody being on them is a symptom, not the cause. So just jerking them away from people is, maybe a step if they could have another experience. But what you're saying, hey, how about some fun and connection?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's what's missing with these kids in school and in many areas of their lives with families, and the phones are a symptom of what's missing in their lives. And I feel like your book
yeah,
addresses
Hmm.
what's missing is that
right.
connection, that fun, that opening up the energy centers. And this is what people need, our society needs. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, actually AI said to me, your book is not about smartphones, it's about presence. It's
Uh-huh.
about being about us all being present with each other. And
and
that's
and with
really that's
And it's
really
with any
the message.
disease. You have to look at the symptom or you can't get to the cause. If you don't look, if you've, you know, scraped your knee or something, you keep falling down a lot. Well, at some point you got to look like, how come I'm falling down so much? But this knee still has to be, cleaned up and put a bandage on it. So it's working both ends of
Hmm.
the reality. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting, animals teach us this. Animals teach us about connection, that's so why it's so wonderful to have animals that we have.
That's so
Even
true.
though
Yeah.
even though sometimes they're a pain in the neck, we still love them. We still love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you draw all the pictures? You painted all
Oh
the
yeah,
pictures?
yeah, yeah. And all the pictures behind me, they're all the
Yeah, I
original.
see them back there.
They're
They're
the original. Yeah,
very.
yeah.
I love the color selection there.
Yeah, I did it in watercolor, and then I transferred it to Photoshop. I did a minor editing to like I did change a couple of scenes that were similar, like the one scene that you saw with the elephants uh, here.
Hmm.
This is on the back cover. I originally did the image without smartphones, and then I
Hmm.
put smartphones in Photoshop. So just some minor edits there, and so anyway, thank you for letting me share that.
Very nice.
That's
Yeah.
great.
And come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Come back next
Thank
week.
you.
You maybe we'll have a different crowd next time. And come
Well,
back next week.
this is being recorded, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah. Uh-huh. It
yeah.
is right.
Hmm.
I was a
Uh,
little yeah.
well,
Thank you for letting me share that.
thanks everybody for coming.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Betty.
Yeah.
I guess you can remove the
What kind of
stop.
animal was Betty in her previous life? I wonder. Some sort of
Uh,
wise. Maybe she was an elephant. Hmm.
well,
Well, maybe that's not
Well,
the.
I I
thanks a
I did
lot.
a lot
Maybe
of
that's not so
classes.
flattering.
I did a lot of classes and all to look at what is animal my animal guide in
Mm.
that, and
Oh,
mine is a wolf. And then we
oh
studied
wow.
Oh,
all the
wow.
characteristics of that animal nature. Yes, so mine is a wolf. Yes.
Did you see where Jane Goodall? They asked her what her favorite animal was, and everybody expected her to say chimpanzee, and she said, "No, chimpanzees are too much like humans. My favorite animal is the dog." So,
Really?
yeah,
Oh, wow. That's very reassuring. Oh my
yeah.
God, what a wonderful woman she was. Oh, wow. Well, dogs are close, very close to us. Well, no, yeah, that was her problem with chimps. Well, anyway. That's neat. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Wow. Okay, everybody. Have a nice Sunday.
See, Baba.
See y'all next time. Thank you for
Thank you,
stories.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Baba. I'm gonna
Thank you.
sign off. Okay.
Baba.
Jai Baba.